How did a doctor telling me my son would live become the worst news of my life? I was in the Mary's General Hospital hallway for the third day in a row when I saw the nurse walking toward me hesitantly. My chest tightened. I'd learned to read their faces, how they slow down before bad news. My son was 8, diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis at 6. He'd missed his championship games, his friends' birthdays. His skin turned yellow 3 months ago. Last week he asked me, "Dad, am I going to die?" I didn't have an answer because he was getting worse by the day. So when I saw the nurse coming, I didn't expect anything, but then I saw her lips curling into a smile. We found a match. My legs almost gave out. "He's going to live!" I grabbed her hand like it was made of gold. "My boy's going to live!" But then I looked up. She wasn't smiling suddenly. Unfortunately, there's also been a complication. My stomach sank. "What do you mean?" She took a deep breath. "Another patient is also a match. We need to determine allocation." I stammered. "My son has been waiting 2 years. You've said he's first on the list for months." My voice cracked. She hesitated. "The other family wants to speak with you." I told them it's not protocol, but she didn't finish. The door at the end of the hallway opened. A man walked out in a suit that cost more than my car. I recognized him instantly. Tech billionaire. The transplant wing we were standing in had his name on the wall. He walked toward me like he owned the place. The nurse stepped aside. "I'm going to make this simple for you," he said. $5 million. I stared at him. No. He didn't blink. 10 million. No. 20. His voice was calm, patient. "More money than your family has seen in 5 generations. I stepped closer. "My son's life is not for sale." He didn't move. "I guess you don't understand how this works." He pulled out his phone, made a call. 3 sentences I couldn't hear, then hung up. "You'll hear from the nurse soon." 45 minutes later, the same nurse from before walked back in. "The transplant allocation committee needs to reevaluate your son's position on the list." She wouldn't look at me. "It's out of my hands. I'm sorry." She walked away. I started hyperventilating, trying to breathe. He'd made 1 phone call. Now my son's file is under review. That's corruption. I found the ethics officer immediately, told him everything. He listened, nodded, then said, "What you're describing is a donor expressing concern for his son. That's not illegal. He offered me 20 million for my son's liver. He made you an offer. You declined. That's negotiation." I stared in shock. He made a phone call and now my son's file. Donors speak to hospital leadership. That's normal. He stood up. "Without evidence, there's nothing I can do." The door closed. 2 hours later, the nurse found me in the hallway again. "The other patient has been prioritized for transplant." "I'm sorry." I grabbed the wall. She walked away without a word. I sat there numb. My son was going to die because a billionaire wrote a check. I didn't know how long I sat there, but then I heard it. A gurney. I looked up. A boy, 12 years old, pale but alive, being wheeled toward the OR. Behind him, the billionaire, hand on his son's shoulder, smiling. He saw me, slowed down, leaned close. "You should have taken the money." Then he kept walking. His son disappeared through the OR doors. The doors swung shut. I sat alone. My son was going to die, and I couldn't help him. I felt like a failure. I put my head in my hands and let myself feel every bit of crushed hope. Then I stood up and started making my way to my son's room. At least I could still hold him. Then suddenly, I heard it. "Stop!" I looked up. A woman in scrubs, walking fast. The transplant surgeon. She walked through the OR doors, wheeling the gurney back herself. The boy was still on the gurney. "This patient has not been cleared for surgery." The billionaire was behind her. "The committee made the decision." "The committee doesn't clear patients." Her voice was steady. "I perform the transplant. I decide who's ready." He stepped toward her. "You work for this hospital. I built it." She didn't blink. "I work for my patients." She walked over to the nurse who was speaking to me earlier and took the folder from her hands. "Patient A, 8 years old, on the list for 26 months. Without transplant, estimated survival 2 weeks." She turned the page. "Patient B, 12, on the transplant list 4 months. Without transplant, estimated survival 16 months. Alternative treatment options also available." She closed the folder. "The liver goes to the patient who needs it most." The billionaire's face went white. "You can't," she cut him off. "If you say one more word, I will personally ensure every medical board, ethics committee, and federal oversight agency knows exactly what you attempted today." She took a step toward him. "I've been documenting everything since your first phone call." Then she turned to me. Her face softened. "We will begin prepping your son for surgery in 30 minutes. The surgery took 11 hours. When the door opened, the surgeon walked out tired, dark circles under her eyes, but she was smiling. "He's going to be okay." My son woke up the next morning, color already coming back to his face. "Dad, I'm no longer a Simpson," I cried, and laughed at the same time holding him.